Women are technically held to a different standard. They almost have to be pristine and perfect, whereas men can be mediocre and still win.
She would have ran, that she would have won. But don't sit there and then blame America for your reasons for why you didn't want to run. America probably needs her or needs somebody like her. Michelle Obama, I believe, was talking to one of our other favorites, you know what I'm saying, Tracy Ellis Ross. And she said that, America is not ready for a female president. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that Kamala just ran and she got 70 plus million votes. And despite the fact that other women have run, she said that America is not ready. And I believe she said it in light of the fact that people are like, Michelle, why you ain't run? You get what I'm saying? So what are y'all thoughts? Is she telling the truth or on some bullshit in regards to, is America ready for a female president? And would that be the reason why she's not running? S&M, speaking for all Black women on this episode, what are your
Okay, I'm going to speak for some Black women on this episode, maybe later on for all Black women, depending on the topic. But I'm just going to, so America has progress. Yes, there are more women running, winning, and leading than any other time in history, of course, right? But culturally, we still lag behind when it comes to the president, when it comes to the presidential race. As you know, we've had two, Hillary and Kamala. I said it that way because there was a rhyme that she did with the PBS kids to how to say her name properly, which folks still continue to mess up. But with that being said, I think that Michelle Obama is correct. We are not ready. And you know why we're not ready? Because it was clear that based on how they try to shit all over our former VP, that they literally went after her for tone. They went after her for likability. They went after her for emotional control, which is crazy because they rarely ask men questions pertaining to their emotions and they never ask men certain questions, period, when it comes to any type of running, any type of office, because I'm still trying to figure out why this is, but it's because stereotypes and so forth comes into play. Then there's the besmirching of their names we had Judge Joe Brown calling her a hoe, saying she got what she got because she was laying on her back, and it's always that the woman used her, that she was laying on her back to climb to the top. And not only that, women are technically held to a different standard when it comes to, it's like they almost have to be pristine and perfect and not have any type of record that's going to besmirch them, whereas men can be mediocre and still win. We currently have evidence of this. And however, the woman has to be flawless because once again, they talked about everything under the sun pertaining to former presidential candidate Harris under the sun, and found fault in everything she did, to include stuff that have dealt with Biden economics, Biden policy, everything but who she was and what she was running on. And let's talk about the Black men one, right? So they talked about, even when all the stuff pertaining to Black men was debunked, i.e. that she locked up more Black men than any other AG in the history of California, or other conversation pertaining to Black men, such as she didn't have a plan for Black men. And then when she put the plan out, it was like, oh, it was too little, too late. But another candidate who won didn't have any plan. His plan was, I'm just going to be a bully, and why not me? You don't try it this way, so hey, try me now. You can't lose, and that was enough. And the fact that that was enough speaks to why America is not ready, because while she did get a lot of votes, and hopefully one day soon, we'll find out it was a lot of election forgery and cheating taking place one day soon, hopefully. But until that day comes, we still have to deal with what's current. And the fact that so many people overwhelmingly voted for this other person who's currently our commander-in-chief, aka the president, speaks to where we are as a nation. I'm just going to say, I'm going to have to co-sign. People aren't ready. And then she's a Black woman. So now they're going to say, oh, you're shoving two Black women down our face back to back, even though one person claimed that the other one wasn't Black. She was just a person of color and so forth. It's just too much too soon. Right now, we are not ready. If she was to win, it's literally because they like anybody but him, or anybody but Republican if she was to run. And I don't think she want to have that type of pressure.
I'm gonna have to agree with S&M. I don't know how much will happen on this episode, but for right now, for sure, I'm gonna have to agree with S&M because I agree for different reasons, though. America's not ready for a Black woman president. America's not ready for another Black president. the only reason we got Trump in the first place because America was experiencing some sort of really strong racist whiplash to Obama. And it was ironic because there was nothing wrong with Obama. He had no scandals to really talk of. He really didn't mess up. He didn't give anybody a reason to have to swing so far away in the other direction. And what I think the presidencies, the administrations of Trump have shown us is that America has a lot more healing to do. Like the racism didn't go away; it just got quiet. And now that he's here, it's gotten really loud, and it seems ubiquitous. So while I do think she stood a better chance of running 4 years, she stood a better chance of winning if she had been in the place of Kamala. I don't think you can just swap one black woman for another. I don't. People weren't even sure Kamala was black. I think to SNM's point, right now, Michelle, she has that pedigree. Her blackness is kind of locked in. She's got a fan base, but due to the gerrymandering, due to just the policies that are put in place, due to the current atmosphere in America politically, right, and the tensions, I think that having her out there would just bring out more of the people who were brought out of the woodworks before. And it may be that there was some tampering with machines and some foolery, but that foolery, that tampering, that's still America, y'all. So yeah, that's still America not being ready. The irony for me is I used to hear people talk about why they shouldn't have a woman president. I think they used to say the reason why I grew up in the church, they would talk about why you shouldn't have a woman bishop or a woman pastor. And they're like, oh, because women wear this moniker of being so emotional, so irrational that we can't count on them to be practical in important situations. And then you got the orange dude who is as petty and emotional and irrational as anybody I've ever seen in the office. And so then I'm like, what are y'all afraid of? Right? So could America benefit from her? Yeah, but I think she's right. America isn't ready. America probably needs her or needs somebody like her. I heard somebody say if the Obamas really cared about America, they would have run against Trump in his last election. The fact that they said it out and knew who Trump was, knew how he was, and did nothing says that they ain't really for us like they say they are. Because America has voted a black person in before, but it hasn't voted a woman. And I land on this thing, we see DEI, I tend to see DEI as a suppressive tactic against minority, and particularly minority men. But DEI is a broader attack against women in general, right? Because they also were some of the great recipients of these laws that passed to get them that access. So I think the tone of America in the place where the decisions are made in those back smoky rooms is not ready for woman leadership, even if they have a man who leads like a woman. Go ahead, Nick.
Yo, I had to write some of this shit down as y'all was talking because I want to go through this step by step and point by point. If America today is not ready, it's because women have constantly let them down, or at least that's a perception of it, right? Like I think as Cap, I'm going to say that I do think America is ready. But if I were to follow y'all logic, I would say it's because the last few shorties y'all trotted out there let America down. They let their party down. They let America down, right? Let me count the ways, right? Like, for example, Hillary Clinton should have beat Trump. For everybody who's upset about Trump, the person you should probably be upset with is Hillary Clinton. The first woman really poised with all of the shots and opportunities to actually break that glass ceiling failed. There was postmortems in regards to her getting lazy towards the end. Maybe it was hubris, right? But she didn't see the thing all the way through, right? She became a caricature of why people would say women can't be president. Right? You don't got that intestinal fortitude. Like she dropped the fucking ball. There was no way that Hillary Rodham Clinton, who's been running for 40 fucking years, however long it's been, should have lost to Donald fucking Trump. And she did. She didn't take advantage of social media when she could have, right? She didn't necessarily campaign in the key areas, especially down the stretch. She was poised to be. I remember getting into arguments with frat brothers who supported her. Get the fuck out of here. She dropped the fucking ball, meaning that America would have already had a woman president if she didn't drop the ball, right? What the fuck are we talking about, right? So if America says, well, look, told y'all these bitches ain't ready, right? Here's an example. The shit was a fucking on a platter. I remember going to sleep that night thinking, oh, she got it. I guess because everybody was telling us she got it. And then she didn't. And then we realized why not, right? Her husband was on a plane with the AG. These motherfuckers thought they were above reproach, and that was not the case. Sorry, y'all dropped the ball. So miss me with America's. So if you're saying it's not ready today, it's because of y'all. So speaking of y'all, Kamala, for example, she didn't get shit popping when she ran for president, but somehow Joe Biden thought she was the one who should have been the VP. Why? It could have only been, in my estimation, because she was married to a white dude. She understood how to be subservient. Because otherwise, what other data showed him that if she was put in this situation, she'd be successful? She was set up to fail to begin with. Because Sleepy Joe, who was sleeping at the wheel this entire time, chose her. Right? But, okay, fine. And I'm not even going to blame her because she only had but so much time to run. She was set up to lose or to fail. It wasn't America's fault that we didn't buy her bullshit because there was nothing authentic about her and her presentation. She didn't take no real positions that was distance from Joe, right? And she was not prepared. It's not really her fault necessarily what it is, but it is what it is. It's not America's saying, oh my God, we want to elect a woman. No, she was whack. America want to elect a woman president who ain't got no kids. How about that? Maybe that was what it was. Or America won't elect a black woman married to a white dude because we're trying to still figure out how the fuck that shit happened. Right? Or because America want to elect a black woman who ain't really black because even black people question her blackness. What the fuck are y'all talking about? Okay? Which brings me to Michelle fucking Obama. Shorty, ma'am, FLOTUS, baby, booey. If you didn't want to run, just say that. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? There are so many people who thought that if she would have ran, that she would have won. But no, she decided that because of whatever reason, and I'm not knocking that, but don't sit there and then blame America for your reasons for why you didn't want to run. The fuck, that's what the fuck she did. That's what the fuck this is about. Like, y'all women can't take no level of, some of y'all women can't take no level of accountability for your own fucking choices. And then you want to blame it on the world. Everybody else in the world, no, ma'am. No, ma'am. No. If you would have ran, I think a lot of people believe you would have beat Trump, right? A lot of people believe that with no experience in politics. A lot of people like Stephen A., who y'all try to bash, he mentioned time after time, he believed that you could have won. He says that as loud as he believes that Jordan is the number one player ever in the basketball shit, right? But y'all hear that shit, right? What the fuck is she talking about? I hate y'all sometimes. I love y'all, but I hate y'all. You know what I'm saying? If she just didn't want to run, she didn't have to run. That's what the fuck this is all about, in my humble opinion. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't because America's not ready. No. America is just not ready for a mediocre woman. America is not ready for a lazy woman. America is not ready for a woman that we can identify with. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's probably plenty of women, including Michelle Obama, who could have became president, including Hillary Clinton, for as much as I would not like to say that, but she dropped the fucking ball. The fuck are y'all talking about, right?
Yay,
So,
pushing back.
go ahead. What you got?
Okay, so first of all, I was waiting to push back. I was like, so one
Yeah.
with Hillary, I will acknowledge she dropped the ball because she thought she had it in the bag. I will acknowledge that. But on the same token, I would also like to point out the statistics pertaining to how many people voted against her. And I'm actually going to call out women because women in both elections actually voted overwhelmingly for, well, certain women, we're going to say white women, voted overwhelmingly for Trump in both elections at a 52% rate and then at a 53% rate in the last one. And part of that is because society is conditioned to believe that only men can lead at that level. And so to say that now in Michelle Obama case, I will say that she already stated multiple times that she had no intentions of running, but they kept asking her why. And so she provided not only that she just didn't want to run, but she also stated her reasoning as far as additional reasoning on why that she's not running herself. And I'm still going to stand by the statement that America is not ready because you know what, to be honest, despite everything that Hillary had going on, i.e. even though she dropped the ball and didn't go as hard in the paint, and you talk about mediocre women, they're not ready for, but they're ready for mediocre men. They're ready for whiny alcoholic men. They're ready for child molesting, alleged type
That's
predators.
cap. That's cap.
They're
That's
ready.
cap.
No,
That's
it's not.
cap.
We're living that proof right now.
Y'all may not like Trump, but he's not mediocre.
I'm
I hate
not
to break it
saying
to y'all.
that. I'm
I hate to break
going
it
to
to
say
y'all.
this.
He's not mediocre. As much as you want to make him mediocre, he's not.
Well, he has a strong machines that
Jeb Bush is
backing him.
mediocre. But go ahead.
But which is what I refer to when I talked about a alcoholic drunk. But anyways,
I went there with you. If you talking about George, okay, cool. But George wasn't mediocre either.
A list of folks. I'm just saying that technically they were. He was a C student, right? But they had problems with Obama being an A student, right?
SNM, we
Because
already
they
know when you're
uplifted
the
things.
we
I'm just
already
saying.
know we already know that when you're the minority, you got to be exceptional. We only had one Obama, but
And
come
the
on, man, we had
same
women
with
have had
women.
multiple, but
Women
women,
have to be exceptional too.
how many women have run for president versus how many black men have run for president?
Let's see.
Exactly. My point is that there's been
Jesse
more black
ran.
women who've run for president. So please miss me with that. It's understood
Jesse,
that as a woman or as a black, you have to be exceptional. So I'm not knocking that part of it, right? But all I'm saying is you're saying that America's not ready. Well, was America not ready when Hillary was running? Was it America not ready or Hillary not ready then? I just want to be clear.
I think it was a bit of both. I think Hillary, like I said, Hillary thought she had it in the bag because she thought that America had better than an 8th grade education. And so she
Hillary
thought she
had
had it in the
more
bag.
popular votes that the Democrats would sit there
True.
talking about the popular votes, right? Hillary had more popular votes than Trump did. You know what she didn't have? Electoral. You know why? Because there were certain spots, like in Michigan, in certain areas, people, key points, like 30,000 votes that Trump was able to corral. She dropped the fucking ball. When you're a woman or a black man, you think Barack had the benefit of dropping the ball? No, he had to stand toe-to-toe with Hillary, right? Which is why she was even in the position to run in the first place, because he had to broker that. You dig what I'm saying? The Clintons were like a fucking monolith, y'all. They had everything going for them. Everything. The media, every time you watch the news, you know what I'm saying? They were able to move with impunity. And with that, she still fucking lost to a nigga off reality TV. This is shit I'm talking about. Like, if y'all, and I'm gonna say this, because what she's saying is short-sighted to me. Y'all spread this shit, it becomes reality. If you say, oh, we don't think America's ready, well, guess what? Then America's gonna be like, yep, you're right, we ain't ready, right? But if you say, nah, it ain't America's not ready. We had all these governors who won their races. We've seen that people are willing to show up. Even with Kamala's shit being as fucked up as it was, how many millions and tens of millions of people still showed up for her? Right? Y'all gonna say, oh, it's because she was a part. It doesn't matter. She still gets that credit for those votes. Right? So to me, this is another example of, oh, y'all got a personal desire. Y'all don't want to own it. So now it got to be everybody else. And when you do that, I think, right, you poison the well for the next woman. Oh, because America, no, she's not ready. She wasn't ready for prime time. Cool. Just say that. But don't say America's not ready, because the people y'all put in front of America was not ready. Can any of y'all say Kamala or Clinton ran a really good campaign? And not to mention, on top of that, Hillary wasn't charismatic. Okay, there was nothing that she really brought that had some sizzle. She was married or in bed with the New York stock motherfuckers, so she wasn't bringing the change that Barack Obama was on, and she still was this fucking close. But no, despite all her negatives, despite her being her, she still was that close. But nah, it's America's not ready for a woman, huh? Get the fuck out of here. You know what I'm
And
saying?
just like the whiplash we experienced from having a black man, we would experience the same whiplash from having a woman in office too.
But we didn't yet, which means it's still an opportunity. Maybe if y'all would have finished the deal, we get a chance to see what the fuck that looked like, right? And for Michelle Obama, the one woman who probably most people feel like in America that could have beat Trump, who decided for her own fucking reasons that she didn't want to get in the race, ma'am, respectfully, shut the fuck up. Right? You didn't want to do it, just say that. But don't then sit there and point the finger at black men. Oh my God, all these black men are against us, even though so many black men voted for Kamala. Right? We don't get the credit for that. It'd be the one or two people that don't vote for you. All of a sudden, men are not ready. And then you mentioned S&M, women didn't vote. Right? So where does that get caught up in the mix? We got to carry all the burden, despite the fact there was a lot of black women, a lot of women in period who didn't vote for Kamala's ass. Right?
Actually,
But
I
no,
said white
it's
women.
us.
I
It's us.
specified white women.
No, some of y'all wasn't fucking with her either.
7%. The
Some of
majority
y'all wasn't fucking with
the
her either.
majority of us did. 92% did, and
The ones
1%
who went to
abstained.
vote. How about the ones who kept their asses at the crib because they weren't that moved by her little high yellow non-black man having no children
Lord
having
have
ass?
mercy. Lord
Ma'am.
have mercy. Lord have mercy. The slander alone
Fuck.
further proves
How
my
is that
point
slander?
that
She's
America
not
is
married
not
to a black
ready.
man.
I'm
See, this
not
is
saying. I'm
perfect.
saying
This is a perfect example. A
I'm
black
going to go
man speak
ahead
the
and
truth
say it.
and it's slander
No,
now.
I'm saying the way you're presenting it, right? The way you're presenting it,
The
you call her
facts.
a non-black woman, and she herself said, "Well, you know what? It actually is confusing as far as if she identifies black. Because one minute she does, and the next minute she doesn't. Then she says she's Asian Pacific. You know what? I'm gonna shut the hell up at this point because her whole identity was somewhat confusing at some point in time. So
I mean, now go ahead,
Okay,
SNM. You got it, man. Go ahead, Jay. You got
I got an alternate ending here. Maybe she's subtexting. Maybe she's saying, you know, how people like, y'all ain't ready for this. Y'all don't really want me to do it. So she can develop and see where her groundswell of support is. You know what I mean? Maybe she's looking for people to speak up. So to Nick's point, I won't say that yet that the America isn't ready. You know what I'm saying? I will say they have proven that they cannot elect a woman president so far, right? But what I will say is, if America is ready, then America is going to have to stand up all over and make some noise and basically beg Michelle Obama to be in the White House, if that's what y'all want to do.
Hold on, SNM, before you go to the next topic, you know what else they could do, Jay? That the Democrats seem to not be able to do very well is develop a candidate, right? Like
Okay.
find a woman who's a governor, you know what I'm saying, who has some charisma. There was I think it was like Gretchen Whitmer, if I'm not mistaken, the governor that was out of Michigan for a minute. Like she was looking a little presidential for a second there, but obviously because the Democrats can't ever stand on shit, it's like, oh, we got to do a black woman thing, and they went that direction. Come on, man. Like the Democrats have to build their farm system and develop people that you can build a narrative for, right? And then put them out there. They just fucking suck with that shit. You get what I'm saying? So, man, go ahead, man.